let's be honest, in this business, we lace up our boots almost every night. We get in gear almost every night. We're getting character. We're in the gym. We're putting on shows and everything, but we miss the social aspect part of it.
It was probably one of the best lucha libre style triple threats I've seen.
But the nice thing about wrestling is that everybody has been exposed or will be exposed at some point within their lives. We have a midget tag match coming up, and we're one guy short. But
you broke Donovan with that one.
Downtime in the ring.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to Downtime in the Ring. This week, we have a pretty cool guest. We didn't get to sit down and talk to him a lot when he was here in Roswell, but I'm glad that we actually do get to have a conversation with him. Today, we have the owner of Midget's Wrestling Warriors here today, and we're going to go a lot into his history. We have ShortSleeve Samson here today, also known as Dan DiLucchio. Right? Did I say that right?
You did a good job. You didn't have to.
Sweet. Yeah.
That's good. It's good. It's good.
Been a wild couple weeks after we had last met. Just traveling, getting into the business ourselves, and doing the same thing we did for your show, just videotaping. We add commentary to our resumes now. And
what's he going in his pocket for? It's another sign. There's no sign.
And it's getting the ball rolling at this point.
No, that's great. I mean, you guys did a great job, recording my show and everything that we had there in Roswell. I mean, we had a great crowd that night. They were definitely energetic. Everybody hung out for the 2.5 hours that the show was going on for, which is always, a great compliment to, the work that we're giving everyone. So I was definitely very happy and very impressed.
Yeah, it was a fun night. It was a great time just to be there. We know that Roswell can be a wrestling town, and to see the success that you guys had is amazing, man. And we still see posters or like banners around town and around some complexes that have you guys. I saw one today coming into work since I work out of town, so it was cool getting to see that people still had a lot of love for the promotion that you guys brought down here. It was awesome.
That's great. And you know what, I'll be honest, I think every place is a big wrestling crowd. Maybe they just haven't been exposed yet, but the nice thing about wrestling is that everybody has been exposed or will be exposed at some point within their lives. And the fact that I can bring the Midget Wrestling Warriors to them and, showcase a wrestling product, to them, and hopefully, make fans of them by the time we're done. It's a great accomplishment, and it's something I'm very proud of. And I do know we will be back in the Roswell and surrounding areas. I believe it's March of next year. So I look forward to doing it all over again.
We can't wait. I'm excited. This is going to be awesome. We got to work more with you when it starts coming down, something like that. Maybe giveaways or do live recordings or something like that, because your whole roster are just awesome people all around.
Well, that means a lot. I have to let them know that you guys hate them. No, I'm just joking. No. Here's the deal. I mean, I try to be very selective in the talent that I bring in, because first of all, I mean, the talent that works within the Midget Wrestling Warriors are actually from 3 different countries. We actually have, the U.S. represented, we have Mexico represented, and we have Canada represented. And the fact that everybody can be on the same page when it comes to, professionalism and courtesy and, respecting people and stuff like that, that means a lot to me, because obviously, people, they see a wrestling product, but, they see what happens beforehand. They see what happens afterwards. And, it's something that I try very, very hard to basically give people as far as, everything that we're about. And it means a lot.
It was probably one of the best shows I've seen live, because I forget who was involved in the triple threat that you had you had booked for our show in Roswell, but at times I was just like looking at the camera and then just looking at this. It was probably one of the best lucha libre style triple threats I've seen, like live personally. And then like to accompany that with adding little setups to certain stories, building a story from the beginning of the show to the culmination of the end of the show, having these little just like interactions with each and every one of your roster and stuff like that. I thought it was very engaging and it was a great show.
Oh, that's awesome. I appreciate that. I really, really do. And again, like I said, I'll have to let everyone know. I'll be seeing them in 2 weeks and everything. We actually have 2 shows up here in New York. The 26th will be in McGraw, New York at McGraw Box Brewing, and the 28th will be in Jordan, New York at Kegg's Canalside Event Center. But I will definitely let everybody know and stuff like that. And it'll mean a lot to them as well, because let's be honest, in this business, we lace up our boots almost every night. We get in gear almost every night. We're getting character. We're in the gym. We're putting on shows and everything, but we miss the social aspect part of it and the feedback part. And that's the part that I care about, because again, we're trying really hard to deliver a good product. And, for both you guys to be able to come on and say that you guys had a great time, it means a lot.
You guys are traveling all over the place too, which is insane to see for any promotion, really, to travel constantly all over the place. Even one promotion that we're tied to is Combat Zone Wrestling in Maryland, and they still don't travel as far as you guys do. So that's impressive in itself.
I mean, let's be honest. We go from coast to coast here in the U.S., and we've done coast to coast throughout Canada. Hopefully we in the future, hopefully maybe we'll get a chance to travel overseas, whether it's the UK or Australia or Japan. We'll have to see what happens with that. But again, we just try to give the fans a good wrestling product, and it's a family show as well, because the fact that nobody will bleed, obviously, unless it's accidental, which we all know is happens in the business. We don't do hardcore matches or anything like that. Not saying we wouldn't, but that's not what we're about. We're just providing good wrestling entertainment to the fans.
While we're talking about your company, let's get into your history, because doing our research, man, you've been all over the place. So let's talk about your history in wrestling. How long have you been in the business?
I've wrestled now for 25 years.
That's a long time. It's almost as long as we've been alive.
Yeah, 25 years this year. And I mean, I've had a pretty good career. I started off, in the indie scene like everybody else does, and, plugging my name and trying to get on shows and everything. And I had some pretty good breaks in the early stages of my career, which opened up, paths for me to be able to continue on this and to, do what I love. I know I had 2 indie matches. And after the second indie match, the following night, I had a call from WWF asking me if I was interested in doing a segment the following night on Monday Night Raw. So, 3 matches in, I could retire and say I was a WWF superstar.
The capacity of what you did in those segments with Kurt Angle, as viewers of our show aren't aware, he is mini Kurt Angle. You've done mini Taker. You've worked with the likes of JBL, Taker, Cena in his early on career, Kurt Angle, and even Triple H and Shawn in the DX stuff. And even I believe you also did WLC as a commentator as Jerry Smaller.
Yes, I did.
Remember, that's crazy.
Yep. I mean, yeah, I did. I did Mini Spirit Squad. I mean, I actually wrestled as myself, ShortSleeve Samson, in the juniors division. My first time I came out with with another gentleman, and we were the Twin Towers, and we were going to be the Rock's opponent at WrestleMania. I'm trying to think. I managed Scotty 2 Hotty and Albert.
Wow.
I've done quite a bit.
Overall in that career, like, being able to say that with these names that you've gone to work with, like, how does that feel overall looking back at your career and then looking at what you're doing now? Because it seems, especially when we had you guys here in Roswell, it seems like you're starting to get ready to do less dates, is the best way to say it. Not retire, just do less dates.
For me personally, I'm definitely trying to do less dates.
Yeah.
But the roster doesn't let me do those things. But obviously I'm all about, the company. I'm all about the Midget Wrestling Warriors, and, trying to constantly take us to the next step, the next level. We've been around now for 10 years. And I mean, we started out, in all honesty, we actually started out in Canada, performing in venues up there, because at the time we were the only midget company. And also it was a great platform for us to be able to, start off with. But we started shows, God, between 4 to 6 guys, and we would still do a 2-hour show. Now we have between, 10, 12, 14 different wrestlers, and we still do a 2-hour show. So, it's definitely good, but I would like to slow down a little bit, but it doesn't happen.
For anybody who's getting into the business, what would you say for most wrestlers?
Honestly, it really starts in the beginning phases. First of all, you got to get trained. Let's be honest. You got to find a good wrestling school, and you have to learn the basics, the fundamentals. You got to learn the footwork. You have to learn to run the ropes and take a back bump and a face bump. And, you got to learn the moves. You got to learn, an arm bar, a hammerlock, before you learn how to do 450s and, suicide dives. And let's be honest. I mean, I personally trained for over 2 years, doing 3 to 4 nights a week. So it's like I knew I wanted this. I knew I needed to be able to set myself apart from everybody else, and it all started in wrestling school. After that, it's basically, then it becomes networking. It becomes, contact promoters. I mean, in this day and age, it's so easy, because when I got started, we didn't have the internet to the way it is today. There was no YouTube or anything like that. It's like, send bios, put together a bio of yourself, even if it doesn't have anything more than just your stats, with your wrestling name, your height, your weight, all those things like that. And then put together, 2 to 3 wrestling videos, not clips, but wrestling videos, and, extend them to different promoters and promotions and everything like that. Be professional. Kindness goes very, very far. It goes a whole lot further than saying, hi, I'm, I don't know, Jagger, and, I want to work for you. That doesn't fly. You know what I mean? Yeah. And then after that, it's traveling on the road. If you're able to find someone to travel with and everything, or, I mean, open your car up, man, because the fact that you're going to learn so much on the road. If anything, when it's a quality car, you're probably going to learn more in that car than you're going to learn at a wrestling show.
What made you want to wrestle?
My earliest childhood memories. I was always a big wrestling fan. I can remember, going to, local, shows and everything. I remember seeing, Chief J Strongbow and Bob Backlund and, all the old school wrestlers and everything. And, then, and then, watching, this, I mean, heck, this is even before Monday Night Raw, but watching, wrestling on Friday nights and Saturday nights main event and Saturday or Sunday afternoons wrestling superstars. It's like I was just a huge fan of it. I had all the wrestling action figures and collectibles and posters in my room and everything. And then basically what happened was I got into it completely backwards because there was a guy that was doing midget wrestling back in my home state of Rhode Island. And we had a mutual friend, I guess, and he got my phone number through him and called me up and said, "Have I ever thought about wrestling?" Well, yeah, I thought about it, but and basically he was like, "Well, we have a midget tag match coming up, and we're one guy short." But
you broke Donovan with that one.
So I'm like, yeah, sure, let's do it, and I did it. I survived. The fans survived, which was great. I mean, I went back and watched that match afterwards, and I was horrible. I mean, yeah, it was a horrible match, but it was a stepping stone, and things took off from there. But yeah, that's how I got into wrestling.
But wrestling was also in your blood. You doing the research, I saw that your grandfather, the Diamond Jim Brady, was also a midget wrestler in the 60s. Was there anything? Did you ever watch any of those matches from your grandfather's period and take it into your training?
Here's the thing: I cannot find anything online on my grandfather. Which is kind of sad. Because the fact that, like you said, he wrestled in the 60s and everything. I heard that he was really, really big up in Canada, traveling with people like Tom Thumb. I'm trying to remember half the guys that, he traveled with and stuff like that. But no, I mean, but when I was starting off in the business, he was still around. And I did have talks with him, and I was like, okay, what do I do for a wrestling name, and, so we came up with the whole ShortSleeve Samson, ShortSleeve being a parody of my size, and Samson coming from the Bible, being the strongest man in the Bible. Okay, great. There's a name, and then we were trying to come up with like a finisher for me. And when I started off, I actually used to do a torture rack, where I put guys up on my shoulders and, try to get them to submit and to tap, and then obviously, it's evolved from there. But that was the advice that I had gotten from him. And then shortly after that, he had passed away. But no, I mean, it was definitely in my blood, and I appreciate that because of the fact that who knows what I would have done. I mean, I could have been working at a grooming company. I mean, who knows?
Do you ever just stand there just in the moment of it all and just be like, wow, this is my life. This is pretty awesome.
I think when I am doing talks like this, I get to reflect a little bit on some of the stuff I've done. But when you're in the moment, man, it's like you don't think about the past. You just think about the future, and again, like I said, what can I do better? How can I be better? How can I make my promotion better? How can we make our shows better? And for me, that's where my mindset is just the next step, because I feel that if I didn't do that, then I would be complacent. And if I'm complacent, that means I'm just, sitting back, happy with what I've done, and that's it. And I'll be honest, I mean, yeah, I've had a great career. I've had a very blessed career, but I'm not done yet. And my promotion's definitely not done. And I need to basically drive that to, go further and be better.
This talk's really cool, man. You're a lot nicer than I thought. I thought you were, I didn't know how to approach you, man. I was worried about this one. This one's, normally I say that, but this one I thought you were going to be very stonewall, very just like one word answers, man. That's what I thought.
Oh, no. I mean, come on, we're hanging out. We're having a good time. You know what I mean? You guys have a podcast. You know, you got some listeners and all. I mean, we need to give some something that's going to be entertaining, you know? And if not, then I could just go to the one-word answers and be like, no.
Trust me, we've had that before.
Yes.
We have had that before, and it was a claw to get anything out of those episodes. I'm super so normally what does your travel schedule look like for the year? Because you said you're taking 2 weeks off now, and then you guys are going to be up in New York, right?
Yep.
So how many dates do you normally try to get throughout the year?
For my promotion itself, I think in the past we've done between 20 to 30 dates, and then I've taken some indie shows. This year, I think we're going to have, when everything is said and done, I think we're going to have like 60 dates.
Oh, wow.
And then I've also taken a few indie shows. We've already got dates into next year. Right now, there's already 6 dates for next year already. And more dates are going to be coming in. So again, I'm just trying to grow this promotion. You know, but yeah, it's going good, and you know, last thing I want to do is hinder that from happening.
So like when you come back to Roswell, when you come back through here, are you going to try and do a loop and do a couple of more cities in this area, or are you just going to go from Roswell to somewhere to?
No. I'm told we're supposed to be doing Roswell, Albuquerque, and then like 1 or 2 other cities. So we're gonna have either 3 or 4 cities that's going to be on a loop, and maybe possibly 5. So no, I'm definitely excited. I mean, I'll be honest. Other than the athletic commission, you know, New Mexico is phenomenal. I mean, we've done New Mexico before in the past. I know we've done a couple of shows down in Las Cruces, New Mexico. Over at Amador Live, we've had a great turnout there, great shows and all. And then we did another show some other place. I don't remember where it is, but yeah, no. And then I do also know that I'm also talking to the Navajo Nation and trying to get a show up there as well. So, I mean, you know, there's definitely several different locations within New Mexico that we're looking to do for next year.
It seems like a common theme with the New Mexico Athletic Commission, with the promotions that we work with. That's the common theme complaint with New Mexico in that regard. So we're learning about it as well as we go about it.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. I'll be honest. I am all for athletic commissions. I really, really am. You know, because the fact that, first of all, you're going to at least get the backyard feds the hell out. You know what I mean? Because the fact they're not going to bring anything of quality to the fans. You know, but at the same time, I am all for a promoter having to have insurance on his event. Okay, I think that's important. You know, if you wanted to, you know, have the promoter get a license or something like that, fine, no issues. But when you're doing all these extra steps that are not necessary, and then on top of it, there was nobody from the athletic commission that showed up for our show. So what the hell? You know, if you're going to want to do these steps and have people follow these steps, then you need to have a representative of your, you know, commission at the shows. And with nobody there, that's pretty sad. Yeah. No, I mean, again, and I can't like stop emphasizing this enough. If you have an athletic commission, then you need to have representation from your commission at the shows. Simple as that. That's it. You know, not having anybody there. Well, why bother getting promoters licenses? Why bother, you know, getting surety bonds? Why bother having insurance? You know, it's like, there's nobody to implement it. There's nobody to enforce it. So why do it?
Yep.
100%. And it's annoying, and it's something that we have to deal with. And hopefully it's just the way the state treats professional wrestling in general. And we're going to see what we can do to try to help that as much, because our state is growing in professional wrestling. And companies like you know, coming down and actually showing people that, you know, wrestling is exciting and it is fun if you just sit there for 2-3 hours and you just forget everything about the world and just focus on wrestling and see this story that you created where it was career versus title. And I looked at Chris and I was like, are we about to see a retirement right now? Like, what's going on?
Hey, I love the creativity. You know what I mean? And again, that was something that was specific for that event, for that night, and it worked out, you know. But you know, we try very hard to try to, you know, pull real life situations and give them some drama and put it in front of the fans and see what sticks, you know. And you know, we have a great product, and I have phenomenal talent, you know, whether it's, you know, Rob the Giant, Demas, you know, I'm trying to think, Zoe Sky, Bruce Rudder, Ponto Romano, you know, Reina Marina. You know, I mean, we have great talent, and the fact that they work with me and the MWW, it's a huge compliment to.
Did you have any thoughts on, because I know you put on a dark match involving the off the ropes two individuals, Colt and Joe. What was that whole thing about, like, in the making of that dark match? Was it just something to keep the crowd kind of like livening it up and then proceed, or was that, like, what were your thoughts on that match?
Well, that was the first time I did a dark match, in all honesty. Yeah, that was the first time, and I wanted to try it out, and that was an agreement that I had with the promotion that we rented the ring from, and he had asked, he said, is it possible we could give you know, two of my guys a match on the show? And I'm like, yeah, sure, we could do that, you know. But at the same time, I also like the fact of doing that because they saw what they normally see. They saw two average sized guys in the ring wrestling, you know, and, you know, the match was what it was, and all. And then they saw the Warriors, which are all shorter, and we gave them a show. So I thought it was a great compilation of you know, excitement and action and drama from beginning to end. So no, I was excited to be able to do that.
And like you said, that you saw the Warriors and they're shorter, and then you proceed to hire the tallest ref in all of New Mexico. He's taller than us. It's like we have to look up to him like this. You have Kyle.
Yeah, and here's the deal. You know, WWE, AEW, whatever it is, all their refs are actually shorter because the fact that they want their talent to look taller. Well, I want my talent to look smaller, so I hire taller refs. So it's just the opposite. And Kyle does a great job. You know, he's worked for us for a couple of years, on and off on different shows and everything. And I'm excited to be able to have him on the roster, and, you know, to have him be able to, you know, do what he loves as well. But if you notice in the show, though, to make us look smaller, not like we need it, but we still use a full-size wrestling ring.
Yes.
We use, you know, average plus referees. We have an average plus ring announcer. Our title belts are full-size title belts because of the fact that we're smaller, and I try to get that point across with the fans.
You know, how did you find some of these guys, though? How did you find these wrestlers?
Well, when the promotions first started off, you know, basically I had, you know, I had different guys within the business that I had, you know, directly worked with, or, you know, actually, no, most of them I all directly worked with. But as the promotion continued, it was, you know, it was basically people reaching out to me. It was, you know, other talents saying, hey, listen, you know, you want to look at this guy, you want to check out this girl. And so it was a culmination of all these different things to be able to have the roster that we have today.
There's a few that we've reached out to, and I can't wait to have them on the show also, for them to put over the promotion, talk about their history, like JC Storm. She definitely got the fans riled up in the best way possible. Azrael Crow had a phenomenal shot that Chris took in his entrance. The pyro was something that threw us all off. That was the first time we ever got to work with a company that had pyro. That was interesting in itself.
Yeah. No, I mean, I was definitely impressed as well, because the fact that, again, when we do local shows to me, obviously I have all that stuff, you know what I mean? But when we, go out to New Mexico, Washington State, California, Arizona, I'm not traveling with the company's equipment. So I try to be very selective in, the ring that we rent, and, the other things that maybe we acquire or are able to use, because of the fact that, again, we still have our product, we still have our show, and I want the fans, when they're sitting down, I want them to feel like they are in our arena, our building.
Okay.
So,
cool.
Quick question. Is it in the budget to send your ring announcer to Colombia paragliding to announce your next shows?
I did not send him to Colombia. That's something that he did himself. No, so I it's not in the budget to do that. But I am very excited that he was able to go down there. I know he was down there for his friend's wedding and all, and I definitely appreciate him grabbing a promo while he was paragliding. I thought that was awesome, but yeah.
When I saw that, I was like, what? This place is cool, because Kyle's put you guys over like crazy. We got to talk to Kyle at the Duke City show this past weekend and pick his brain a little bit more about your company from his point of view, and he put you over like crazy. So I was like, yeah, I finally have to reach out. I have to see if he's willing to come and spend a little downtime in the ring. Before we wind down, where can everybody find all the socials for Midget Wrestling Warriors?
There we go. Perfect. So check us out on our website, which is midgetwarriors.com. And obviously on there, we have our tour schedule. There's the talent roster, there's other things that they can find in there and everything like that. And that's constantly being updated. I think 2 to 3 times a week, so they can always be able to go there and find new stuff and everything like that. On Facebook and on Instagram, it's Midget Wrestling Warriors. And on X, formerly known as Twitter, it's at Warrior Midgets. So yeah, and we definitely encourage the fans, to check us out, to give us the like, give us a shout out. If you have a question, send a message. I get all the messages. I do answer all of the messages. If somebody happens to know of a venue or something like that, please send me a booking inquiry through our website, again, midgetwarriors.com, and let me know what you have, and I'll get back to them as well. But we try to be very, very fan friendly. And I know right now on our website, I think we're getting like 10,000 hits a month. So we're doing very, very well.
That's awesome. So give us the dates again for this month and next month.
Oh my goodness. Give me 1 second. I try to do them all by memory, but you know how that goes,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So September the 26th, we are in McGraw, New York. September 28th, we're in Jordan, New York at Kegg's Canalside Event Center. October 5th, we are in Parma, Ohio at the UAW Union Hall. October 10th, we are back in Buffalo, New York at the 500 Pearl. October 19th, we are in Lawrenceburg, Indiana at the Hollywood Casino Event Center. October 26th, we are on Cortez, Washington at the Swinomish Casino and Lodge. So that's where fans can see us for the next 2 months. And then there's other shows after that as well. You know, I know we have dates in Arizona and Florida and Massachusetts and back in New York. So, you know, people can definitely check us out and, you know, see what a Midget Wrestling Warrior show is all about.
So normally I end the show and I go, we have to have you on here soon to have a second interview and kind of pick your brain more. But since you're not going to be gone from us that long, the next time we have you, I want it in person. Preferably would do it at the venue and be able to talk to you before, you know, you get locked in and you're ready for show day, something like that, or talk to your roster, because they were really awesome, and put you guys over as much as we can, because you guys are amazing and we enjoy everything about Midget Wrestling Warriors. I keep saying Warrior Wrestling. Dude,
I know.
Sorry.
It's all good, man. No, you're good. No, I mean, obviously, no, we could definitely, obviously it's not a one and done. You know, I think we established the beginnings of a relationship here, and, you know, I'd love to come back on, whether it's, you know, virtually like this or if it's in person. And, you know, obviously I know you had said that you reached out a few of the talent as well, but no, I mean, whatever you guys want, we can easily make that possible. So let's do this.
Let's do it, man. I'm super excited. All right, everybody, you can head over to all of his socials, like he said. Wait, do you have the posters for all those dates or no?
They're online. I do have the posters. They're online. They're on the website. Yeah,
I know how to.
Yeah.
I know how to make this look cool. Then,
Wait.
Cool.
Before you send it off, can you do the catchphrase, please? I love the catchphrase.
It's Midget time.